Luke Harper worked as a janitor at Jefferson Elementary School. He was a single dad and lived with his 8-year-old daughter Mia in a small house on the edge of town. Life was simple for them. Every morning, Luke would wake up early, make breakfast, and get Mia ready for school. They would walk together to the bus stop. Luke enjoyed the small moments, like seeing Mia laugh over pancakes or holding her hand as they crossed the street. Luke was not rich or famous. He wore old clothes and his hands were rough from work, but he loved Mia more than anything. He always made time for her, even if he was tired from cleaning classrooms and hallways. On weekends, they would go to the park, feed the ducks, and sometimes buy ice cream from the little shop near the corner. Luke knew life was not easy, but he wanted Mia to feel safe and happy. One Friday evening, after Mia had a birthday party at her friend Lily's house, Luke walked her home. The sun was setting, and the streets were quiet. Mia skipped a few steps ahead, her pink backpack bouncing on her shoulders. Luke kept an eye on her while walking behind, thinking about the week ahead and what chores he still had to do. As they turned a corner near an old warehouse, Mia suddenly stopped and held Luke's hand tightly.
Ow.
Luke followed her gaze and saw 3 men moving crates in a dark alley. Something about them made him uneasy. Their movements were fast, and they glanced around nervously. Luke's heart beat faster. He knew this was not just ordinary work or deliveries. These men were doing something illegal. Mia looked up at him with wide eyes and whispered, "Daddy, please save them." Luke froze for a moment. He realized that she had seen something dangerous, and now they were both in trouble. The men noticed them too. One of them stepped forward, his face hard and angry. Luke felt a surge of protectiveness. He pulled Mia close to his side and whispered, "Stay calm, Mia. Everything will be fine." Luke scanned the area quickly. There were crates stacked high, broken boxes, and tools lying around. He needed a plan. He could not run because the men would catch them fast. Luke's job as a janitor had given him strength and knowledge of handling tools. He knew he could use anything around him to protect his daughter. His mind worked quickly, thinking about how to stop the men long enough to escape and call for help. The men moved closer, shouting threats. Luke stood firm. He used a broom handle from a pile of cleaning supplies to block the first man. The man swung at him, but Luke dodged and hit his arm with the broom handle. The man stumbled backward into a crate. Mia gasped, clutching her doll tightly. Luke whispered, "You are safe, Mia. I will not let anyone hurt you." The second man lunged at them with a metal rod. Luke grabbed a nearby mop and twisted it to knock the rod away. The man tripped over some boxes and fell. Luke could feel his heart pounding, but he did not panic. His only focus was Mia and keeping them out of danger. The third man tried to grab Luke, but Luke was ready. He pushed the man into the warehouse and slammed the door, locking it as best as he could with his strength. Mia looked up at him, tears in her eyes, but also a small smile. Luke hugged her tightly. "You are my brave girl," he said. "We are okay now." They stayed hidden behind some crates until the men finally gave up and left the area. Luke held Mia close, whispering soothing words and telling her they would be safe from now on. He felt proud and scared at the same time. That night, as they walked home slowly, Luke knew nothing would ever be the same for them again. Luke Harper spent the rest of the evening making sure Mia felt safe. They locked all the doors and windows at home and drew the curtains. Mia stayed close to him, holding his hand tightly while he made a small dinner for them. Luke tried to smile, but inside he felt the weight of what had just happened. He knew the 3 men would not forget Isley, and that his quick thinking had saved them both. After dinner, Luke cleaned up quietly, while Mia played with her doll on the sofa. He watched her, thinking about how fast life could change. One moment, they were walking home after a birthday party, and the next, they were fighting for their safety. Luke could feel his heart still racing. He realized how much he depended on his own strength and calm mind in dangerous situations. As night fell, Luke prepared Mia for bed. He told her a story about a brave knight who protected his village from danger. Mia listened carefully, her eyes wide and her small hands clutching her blanket. Luke's voice was steady, trying to make the story comforting. When he finished, he kissed her forehead and whispered, "You are safe now. Sleep well, Mia." Once Mia fell asleep, Luke stayed awake for a long time, thinking about how he had handled the situation. He knew he had been lucky, and he also knew he had skills that could help him protect his daughter in the future. He reviewed the night in his mind, thinking of ways he could have done better. He felt proud of himself, but he also felt the fear of what could have happened if things went wrong. The next morning, Luke woke up early and made breakfast for Mia. She was cheerful and full of energy, despite the scary night. Luke smiled at her and felt a warm happiness inside. He decided they would have a calm day together to recover from the events. They went to the park, walked slowly, and watched the ducks swim in the pond. Luke kept a careful eye on his surroundings, but he tried not to worry too much. He wanted Mia to enjoy the day without fear. While sitting on a bench, Luke noticed a few men in a black car watching the area near the warehouse. His heart tightened, but he stayed calm. He whispered to Mia, "Stay close to me." They walked quietly back to their car, avoiding the men. Luke made a mental note to always be careful and stay aware of their surroundings. He understood that bravery was not just about fighting but also about thinking ahead. Later, Luke decided to check the warehouse from a distance. He saw the three men talking and loading more crates into a truck. Luke stayed hidden behind some trees, observing their movements. He realized that he could not let them cause more trouble. Luke remembered the skills he had used the night before. He picked up a few strong sticks and stones just in case, and planned his next move carefully. Luke waited until the men were distracted by the truck, and then acted quickly. He threw a stone to create noise on the far side of the yard. Two of the men ran toward the sound, leaving the third one alone. Luke moved silently, using his janitor training and his knowledge of the warehouse surroundings. He managed to lock the third man in a small storage room before the others returned. They were confused and angry when they saw him. Luke stood firm, ready to defend himself and his daughter if needed. His courage surprised even him. After the men left, Luke called the police, gave them information about the men and their location without revealing his identity. The officers arrived quickly and arrested the three men. Luke watched from a distance as the police took them away. He felt relief wash over him. Mia was safe, and the danger was finally gone. He held her hand tightly and whispered, "You see, Mia, we can handle anything together. Today showed us how strong we are." Mia smiled, hugging him, and Luke felt a deep sense of pride and love for his daughter. He knew they had faced a test and had come out stronger than ever. Mia was quietly coloring at the table, her small tongue sticking out as she focused on her drawing. Luke thought about the night and day that had just passed. Everything had happened so fast, and yet it felt like a lifetime. He could still feel the rush of adrenaline in his chest, and he knew he would remember it for the rest of his life. Mia looked up at him and asked if they could go outside. Luke smiled and nodded. They walked to the small park near their house. Birds chirped from the trees. For a moment, Luke allowed himself to relax. He wanted Mia to enjoy the day without fear. He waved politely, but he could tell they had heard about the police catching the three men near the warehouse. Luke felt a mix of pride and embarrassment. He did not like attention, but he also knew that what he did had saved his daughter and possibly others in the town. They found a quiet bench by the pond. Luke sat down and watched Mia throw small pieces of bread to the ducks. He realized that bravery was not just about fighting danger. It was also about being patient, calm, and ready for anything. That night, he had done all of those things, and Mia had seen him face fear without running. He had always done his best as a father, but now he knew he could handle more than he ever thought possible. He promised himself that he would always protect Mia, no matter what came their way. Later that evening, they returned home. Luke cooked a simple dinner of eggs and toast. After dinner, they cleaned the kitchen together. Luke washed the dishes while Mia wiped the table. Afterward, Luke tucked Mia into bed. She hugged her pillow tightly and asked him to stay until she fell asleep. Luke sat by her side, telling her a story about a brave father and his clever daughter. Mia listened closely, her eyes heavy with sleep. She whispered, "Daddy, you are my hero." Luke kissed her forehead and whispered back, "I will always protect you." And once Mia was asleep, Luke sat alone in the living room. He reflected on the events and felt a deep sense of pride and responsibility. He knew life would not always be easy, but he also knew that he and Mia could face any challenge together. Luke thought about the three men and the danger they had posed. He felt satisfaction knowing the police had taken them away and that they could not hurt anyone else. Luke looked at the small clock on the wall and realized it was late. He made a cup of coffee and sat by the window, watching the stars appear in the sky. The world felt calm again. Luke took a deep breath and smiled quietly to himself. He knew that courage was not just about strength, but also about love, determination, and the willingness to act when needed. Luke felt ready for whatever tomorrow would bring, and he knew that Mia and he would face it together with courage and love. The next morning, Luke Harper woke up early. Sunlight streamed through the small kitchen window, making the room feel warm. Mia was still asleep, her small body curled under the blanket. Luke made a simple breakfast of eggs and toast while thinking about the events of the last 2 days. He felt a mix of pride and tiredness. Protecting Mia had been exhausting, but he knew it was worth every second. After breakfast, Luke got Mia ready for school. They walked to the bus stop together, holding hands and talking about the day ahead. Mia seemed cheerful, but Luke could tell she still felt a little scared from the events near the warehouse. He comforted her, telling her that everything was safe now and that he would always be there to protect her. As they reached the street near their home, Luke noticed a black car slowly driving by. Inside the car, a woman in a smart suit was looking directly at them. She had a serious expression, but there was something about the way she watched Luke and Mia that made him feel both nervous and curious. "Duh," Luke whispered to Mia, "stay close." He did not know who the woman was or what she wanted. The car stopped and the woman stepped out. She introduced herself as Samantha Price, a city official who had been informed about the events at the warehouse. Samantha praised Luke for his bravery in protecting his daughter and handling the dangerous men. Luke listened quietly, feeling a mix of pride and humility. He did not seek attention, but he understood the importance of what he had done. Samantha explained that the city wanted to recognize Luke publicly and offer him a position where he could use his skills to help the community. She said the police had recommended him for this opportunity because of his courage and quick thinking. Luke was surprised and unsure at first. He had only acted to protect Mia, not for recognition or rewards. But he realized that accepting the offer could provide a better life for him and Mia. Mia looked up at Luke with wide eyes and whispered, "Daddy, you are famous now." Luke smiled and ruffled her hair. He told her that he was still the same person and that nothing had changed between them. Mia smiled back, feeling proud of her father. She skipped beside him as they walked home, excited to tell her friends about what had happened. Back at home, Luke thought about the future. Motorcade and recognition were unexpected, but they brought new possibilities. He could now provide a more stable life for Mia and help keep the community safe. Luke felt a sense of responsibility, but also excitement. He realized that bravery was not only about facing immediate danger, but also about making choices that could create a better life. Later that afternoon, Samantha visited Luke at their home with more details about the new position. She explained that he would work with the city to improve safety and assist in situations where quick thinking and courage were needed. Luke listened carefully, asking questions and understanding what would be required of him. He felt confident that he could do this work while still being a good father to Mia. After Samantha left, Luke and Mia went to the park. The sun was low in the sky, casting long shadows on the ground. Mia ran ahead to feed the ducks while Luke watched, feeling proud of her happiness and resilience. He thought about how their lives had changed so quickly, from danger and fear to opportunity and hope. As they walked home, Luke held Mia's hand and whispered, "We can face anything together." Mia squeezed his hand tightly and nodded. Luke smiled, knowing that the events of the past days had strengthened their bond. He felt ready for whatever challenges the future might bring, confident that love, courage, and determination would guide them through any obstacle. Luke Harper woke early, feeling a calm happiness he had not felt in a long time. The sun shone through the window, warming the small kitchen. Mia was already awake, sitting at the table and eating her cereal. She smiled at Luke and said good morning. Luke returned the smile and ruffled her hair. Life felt lighter now, and he knew they could face anything together. After breakfast, Luke prepared for his first day at the new position. Samantha Price had explained everything the day before. He would help the city with safety plans and respond to emergencies when his skills were needed. Luke felt ready. He knew he could do this work and still be the father Mia needed. Mia watched him with admiration, proud of her dad, and excited about what he was going to do. They walked to the park together, enjoying the fresh air. Mia ran ahead, laughing as she threw crumbs to the ducks. Luke watched her, feeling proud and grateful for these peaceful moments. He thought about the dangers they had faced and how far they had come. The warehouse, the three men, the fear and the courage they shared, all of it had strengthened their bond. Luke knew that courage was not only about fighting, but also about protecting and guiding the ones you love. Later, Luke returned home to find a small crowd outside his house. Neighbors and friends had heard about his bravery and recognition from the city. They came to congratulate him, bringing small gifts and kind words. Luke felt humbled and happy. He thanked everyone, but his thoughts were always on Mia. She stood beside him, holding his hand and feeling proud of her father. As the day passed, Luke realized that life had changed for the better. The new position gave him security, and recognition brought respect. He would be able to provide more for Mia and make a difference in the community. Yet he remained humble, remembering that his actions had been motivated by love and the need to protect his daughter. That evening, Luke and Mia walked to the park again. The sky was orange with the setting sun. Birds flew across the sky, and the air felt calm and safe. Mia skipped ahead and then ran back to Luke, laughing. Luke held her hand and smiled. He felt proud, happy, and ready for the future. He realized that courage and love were the strongest forces he had, and together with Mia, he could face anything. Back at home, Luke prepared dinner, while Mia helped by setting the table. They worked together in quiet teamwork, enjoying each other's company. After dinner, they cleaned up, and Luke tucked Mia into bed. She hugged her pillow tightly and whispered, "Daddy, I love you." Luke kissed her forehead and whispered back, "I love you too. Sleep well." He watched her fall asleep, feeling grateful and content. After Mia was asleep, Luke sat in the living room, reflecting on everything that had happened. He thought about the night near the warehouse, the three men, the police, and the recognition. He realized how much he had grown and how much stronger he had become. He knew there would be challenges ahead, but he felt confident that he could face them with love, courage, and determination. The next morning, Luke and Mia walked to the park again, holding hands and smiling. The town felt safe, and life felt full of possibility. Luke knew that no matter what came their way, they could handle it together. He looked at Mia and whispered, "We can face anything together." Mia squeezed his hand and smiled. Luke felt a deep sense of pride and love. Their bond had grown stronger than ever, and he knew that their future would be full of courage, hope, and happiness.